What's going on, everybody? It's only me right now. I'm on my way to go meet with Dave. And we're getting ready to go meet with a new person. Friday we were gonna go meet with a guy, but then we found out he was dealing with, some things, and we can't deal with that. But we got this other guy that we want to introduce you to. And this guy has got some really, really crazy prison stories. I hope. All right. Hopefully that camera angle's a little bit better right there. I hope I ain't got my mirror in the shot. But I'm getting ready to go pick Dave up, and we're getting ready to go meet with a guy who's been locked up since he was 14 years old, if I can remember correctly. This guy has done a ton of time at some high-level institutions here in the state of Virginia, and this guy, he's got one hell of a story to share. Today has been a really hectic day already. My wife had to go to the doctors. Shout out to my wife. She's doing really good. The IVF process couldn't be going any better at this moment. Then I had to meet with Thomas about a new quad, the FPV drone thing. That's like my new hobby. And now I got to hightail it and book it to Dave's, pick him up, and we're going to go meet with this guy who, again, like I said, he's going to have a crazy story to share with us. So folks, when I tell you that today is going to be a really interesting day, it's going to be just that. But right now I need to focus on the road. And what better way to do so than by making a phone call?
Hey.
What's up, baby? Nothing, just checking on you. You okay? All right. Have you heard from the doctors yet? So I just got off the phone with my wife, and she is freaking out. She's got surgery on Wednesday. At 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning, we got to wake up. We got to be up by 1:30, and I got to give her this fourth and final shot. And then I think all the shots are done until, all the shots are done. But she's got surgery on Wednesday morning, and it's going to be crazy. I appreciate you guys coming along with me for this ride. It makes me feel better when I'm filming, when driving, because I get anxiety, especially coming out this neck of the woods where Dave lives at. Gives me a little bit of anxiety. My wife is dealing with a lot of anxiety right now, and I don't like that. That legit just scared me to death. Whew. I feel like I'm almost doing something wrong. I got a carload of camera equipment and FPV drone stuff. I'm not doing anything wrong. What's interesting about this location right here where Dave lives at, this is a big Walmart shopping center over to my right. You guys can't see it. There's a Chick-fil-A over there as well. Many, many years ago, when I was running around with this guy that I was getting in a lot of trouble with, me and this guy got chased by the police through that Walmart parking lot, across this main road, across the oncoming traffic, and we jumped over a fence. And I'm a true believer in karma, but when we jumped over the fence, it was nighttime. Folks, tell me why when I jumped this little white PVC, this little white fiberglass fence, I landed with my eye directly on a piece of PVC pipe that was coming up out of the ground. Yeah, pretty crazy. I had the biggest black eye for the longest time. It almost knocked me out. It probably came pretty close to knocking my entire eye out of my head.
Ben already had one, but Laura asked if she could get it for me for Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Like, I'll show you text messages from a month ago. She sent me the picture because they're in the mall at the top corner. Is that where you got it?
Yeah. God, that's exactly where I got it. All right.
We're off to see the wizard. The Grand Wizard.
Is that what he is?
No. He's a juggalo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, juggalo. All right, Dave, do you know where this guy lives at?
I gotta put it in my phone.
How do I get out of here?
You can go left.
So it's just Dave and I. Dave's in the vehicle now. Dave's mad at me because of this hoodie.
Yeah,
I'm mad at me because of this hoodie too. Did you see the game? Did you see the pass to Brady from Edelman
I heard
when he ran with his little girl legs?
Nah, nah, look. So a lot of the games I just watch on my phone, and then some of them I can't get. I'll just get like if something crazy happens, they'll send the highlight real quick.
Right.
And that was one of the highlights that got sent to my phone. It was like dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Brady ran with some 6-year-old little girl legs. Couldn't even get the first down, was wide open. So let's talk a little bit about this guy that we're getting ready to go meet, Dave.
From talking to him on the phone, he seems like a pretty humble dude, you know, and that kind of happens if you've been through a lot and you live to tell about it. You know, you get to a certain age where, you know, you're thankful that you're still here.
And, you know, this is a guy who served a hell of a lot of time. You said he got locked up at, how old was he when he got locked up?
He got locked up at 13.
Am I taking it right?
Nah, this is deep, or this is damn near.
But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying?
He got locked up at 13 and came home at 47.
And what did this guy go to prison for? Or what did he get locked up for? Some pretty crazy stuff,
yeah,
right?
Maybe we should save that for the video.
True. Good point, Dave.
Jeez, Joe. My bad habits rubbing off on you?
Look, I mean, no, good call and good catch right there. This is a guy who's served a ton of time, got locked up as a juvenile, came home, and, you know,
Was a grown man.
a super grown man. And how long has this guy been out? I mean, he ain't been out no time.
Nah, he came home, and I don't know what people expect from guys like this, but he came home. I guess he violated his probation. They gave him a little bit of jail time, and he just came home from that. So, I mean, he hasn't been in the real world for
Very long at all.
long at all. But talking to him, you know, he's willing to share his story with us, talk about some crazy things, and boy.
All this guy knows is high-level institutions.
Yeah, nothing under, I think.
Nothing under a 3-4.
Yeah, nothing under a 3-4 ever. And I want to, like, he was in Southampton.
Back when
Terry was in Southampton, back in the 90s when it was
Gladiator School.
Yeah. It was,
Did they know each other?
He said he might know him if he was there, but you know, you meet so many people in and out that thing like that. So he was like, if he saw him,
he might recognize him.
him.
But that's not even a guarantee. You do meet a lot of people while locked up, and it's hard to remember people, man, especially when you're doing that much time. His nickname's Joker too. That's pretty crazy.
13 years old, since 2 lives, 125.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think I actually need it.
We're gonna go meet this guy first before we just go guns blazing with the cameras.
My name is Joker. At the age of 12 and a half, I got locked up for killing 5 people for I went to my stepdad's room, grabbed a nickel plated .45, went 2.5 blocks, knocked on the door. He answered, shot him in the kneecap, drug him into the middle of the floor. I heard footsteps running down the hallway, and I stepped up, and there was like 4 other people there. I didn't expect nobody to be there. They turned around and ran back into the room, and I chased them.
All right. The first thing that I got to say is we're leaving from the interview with this guy Joker that we're getting ready to introduce y'all to. Now, Joker said or told you when we first showed up that we were good to film meeting this guy. I didn't want to do that because I didn't know who this guy was, and I'm glad that we didn't do that because I don't want to make this dude uncomfortable at all.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say this, but folks, we're getting ready to introduce you to somebody even crazier, with a crazier story than Danny's. I don't know how else to say it.
I mean, this guy's been through it, man. And
you will never hear a more insane story than who we're getting ready to introduce you to. A guy nicknamed Joker who did so much time in prison. And when you hear for why, I know there's going to be a lot of people who aren't gonna believe it, but we're definitely gonna prove that it's true. And who also I'm at a loss for words.
Dude, I mean, it was intense just being there and hearing it firsthand, going, you know, am I really talking to a guy like this? And to see it, and then, you know, to also think to myself, you know, he's man, I don't know, he's not a bad, he doesn't seem like a bad guy. I mean, he seemed real cool, but I mean, you never know. You never know.
Going up there?
You're gonna make a left at the light. You never know. And what I mean by that is, you know, you hear what he did and you wonder, you know, like, is that beast still there? Or, you know, do you believe what he said? And I kind of believe him. I believe that he did what he did.
Oh, he definitely had a reason to do what he did. There's no doubt about that. The issue is, there's a lot, you know. The issue is what are people gonna think of this guy, you know? Here's a guy who's willing to share a story that I cannot emphasize is the craziest story we have ever heard. Hands down, you will never hear a story more crazy than what this guy did. And we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of what he's been through.
Yeah.
Do you know his last name?
Yeah, he told it.
Okay, because we need to make sure
it's in the video.
All right, well, we need to make sure that we got that, because I'm going to include. He's got all his paperwork. This guy told us he could show his crime scene photos.
Do you want to see him? Like, I do and I don't.
I don't, man.
Like, the stuff that he said that, you know, he did. But I'll tell you what, I'm glad he rocks with After PrisonShow.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure this guy was comfortable on his very first day. There was so much more that we were going to do. I wanted to be able to include him in this little vlog. I'm sorry that I'm not able to do so, but I'm glad that I'm not able to do so, because when you guys see this guy, you're going to see him for the very first time. And I promise you, when you hear this story, you ain't never gonna, there will never be a story that will be able to top this at all. Not in my opinion.
And, you know, he said it too. You know, he's like, I don't care what people think. I served my time.